Right, we are back. It is basically
Okay.
Monday, baby.
How what were
Wait,
we even talking? How did we
wait,
get
wait,
into
wait.
this?
Okay, wait, We can't just we can't just go in raw like that. We have to explain what happened.
He's like, all right, so as
Yeah,
we were saying.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm
yeah.
trying to figure out like
Wait,
how
wait,
were
wait,
we
wait,
talking
wait.
about this?
Okay, wait. So, for those of you who are just joining us, because we know we just started, we were talking before this, and we decided we might as well get this recorded. So anyway, we were talking about uh, the airport and like how people leave shit at the airport. And I was saying to the guys that I recently found out that like through a show actually that like
Right.
there's whole companies like designed around taking the stuff you leave at the airport, if assuming it's been left there for a certain amount of time, and then reselling it to other people, and they also like donate your bags and shit to like homeless people so they don't have to like walk around with trash bags and shit, so like and that kind of shit, like socks, underwear. Apparently, people leave all types of shit. But anyway, the last thing I said before we started streaming was that apparently someone left a ruby there, like a ruby necklace or something, and like it was resold by this company for 32 grand. So like they bought it from the airport, like they paid a like probably like pennies on the dollar for it, and then they resold it for like probably double. So yeah, there's like whole businesses dedicated to this.
Yeah, man. If you're a treasure hunter, that's the next spot.
Yeah, the airport. People leave
Still full
cars
of
at the
riches.
airport. Although I would never want a car that someone left at the airport.
Yeah, I'm like, when you brought that up earlier, I'm like, I'm for sure certain that they either fled or they're dead. So that's like, you don't want that car. That has some bad
Well,
energy on
well, I also like some people might stay. The airport people on the show were saying that sometimes people stay longer for a trip than they intended, and they come back and like maybe they didn't have a lot of money to begin with, so they've racked up all these parking fees and shit, and they don't have the money to even get it out. So sometimes they just say fuck the car and they just leave it
it.
there.
What?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine. Like,
yeah. Can you imagine? You're just like
like
fuck. You
you
know
have
what?
a
Fuck
car,
it.
it's in your name, it's registered to you, and
Yep.
you're just like, nah, that's not mine anymore.
You're like nah,
Like,
B.
how do
Yeah.
you just give up the whole thing? Like,
Yeah, like
you
Nabi.
don't even want to sell it
I'm
for like a couple hundred
I'm
bucks?
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that some of those people probably don't have license and registration too.
How the hell did they get to the airport?
Well, they like if you drive, you can get in a car right
I
now
mean,
without a
who cares
license.
if you
Like no
don't have
one.
a
I was
license?
gonna say like people do it all the time. Like they just drove, they just risk it. They don't give a fuck. They're
You
just
could
out
sell a
here.
car without a license.
They're just sitting here living dangerously. They don't
I
care.
mean, like, don't you need a license to get a plane ticket, or am I mistaken?
No, you just need an ID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. You just need a
Or
current
maybe
state
those are
ID.
stolen cars.
It's possible. That's why I said I
Tell
wouldn't
me,
want any.
wait,
I wouldn't want anything from the airport. That's exactly why though, because like you
do
don't know where it came
people
from.
do people actually have like just an ID? Like not a driver's license, not a
Yeah,
passport,
yeah,
just an ID.
that's pretty common in cities actually. Like I have good friends of mine who I grew up with who didn't get their licenses until recently because they just didn't have a need to drive.
Fascinating. I've
Yeah,
never seen one.
yeah. Actually, Danielle had one. I'm pretty sure. Danielle, I'm sure you're listening to this eventually. Tell me if I'm wrong about that, but I feel like I remember her seeing a state ID from her. Maybe I'm just making that up. But yeah, like I've seen people with state IDs. It's crazy.
Okay, well,
Yeah, they exist.
I got to get one of those, like a trading card.
Yeah, man. I always thought
So I'm
about
gonna.
that though, because I grew up like, well, like you guys did, like in the same town. So like, basically, if you didn't have a license, you didn't get around. So like, yeah,
Yep.
like I didn't think about how much I took that for granted until I like started driving and learned to drive, like in a smaller city or a smaller town, I guess. But yeah,
Hmm.
like in the city, pretty much everything is accessible through public transit. So it's just like it's very common to hear people say like, ah, I don't really need a car.
That's true. I mean, the town or village that we grew up in, there was like just barely public transit. Like
The
you had to go
village.
to one of yeah, you had to go to one of two main roads to see a city bus. It wouldn't go like into the neighborhoods or anything.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but then what's the
about
point
this
of that?
airport thing, you said the sorry, I was just looking at this article I wanted to find. I was like, I need to get some proof before I bring this up.
Hmm.
But so you said you was on the show that the lady found someone found a $32,000 necklace, and you're like, well, at least like I'm pretty sure like they at least try to like uh give it
Well,
like
I don't
find the
know.
people or whatever.
So I don't know if that's what happened with that particular case. They were just asking the company or the spokesperson for the company like, "Hey, what's the most like expensive thing you guys have sold that you got from the airport in this store?" And that's what she brought up. But the other like the show was also following a very specific airport, and that airport like had an entire thing designated to like trying to catalog everything that was missing and like trying to track the people down. So like I think I remember one person like left a photo album and there was like no names or anything in it. And basically they spent like a good amount of time basically trying to like find like match up this picture with like people they thought they were related to on Facebook and shit. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know that every airport does that. I wouldn't be surprised if most
They
airports don't though.
they probably do in general do that, but like lately the airlines have been having so much problems. Because the story I heard was during like the whole Christmas season. I don't know if you guys remember this or watched the news back then, but like the airlines like had to cancel like tens of thousands of flights and like basically ruined like half the country's Christmas like for everyone. Like people were sleeping in the airports. No one had their bags. Like apparently half like there was one airline that did it so bad that they just started mass donating all their customers bags because so many bags got left behind. Like they just didn't even begin to know what to do. So then
What?
yeah, they started mass donating them. But then
So they
like once
canceled
like
their flight and then donated their bags?
yeah, yep.
Holy
This
shit.
happened just as last winter. Yeah, I feel like that's so devastating. So not only are you stuck at an airport that you have to sleep at for days until you can find like any old flight that will get you anywhere, but now like your bags are gone forever. And apparently, so like what they do like during a situation like that is they say, "Oh, okay, well, we're gonna pay you out for your bag," and it's just like a flat fee of like I don't know, like a $1,500 or $2,000 or whatever,
Hmm.
and then like that's it, like they don't try like there's just so many bags it's apparently cheaper to literally pay each customer for like whatever fee it is to just like pay them out and then like just donate the bags and just forget about the whole thing.
Well, yeah,
So
if you've
like
already shipped the bag somewhere, then yeah, it's probably not easy to get it back to where it's supposed to be.
That's
yeah, so
crazy.
like yeah, depending on when, yeah, when you're going, like if airlines like run into a big bottleneck, like they might choose to just donate your bag and pay you out rather than to even attempt to find it. Like that's just it's just crazy, but like
What
yeah,
if
that's what
what
it
if I
reminded
had
me of.
like the ring of the fellowship in my bag and now they sold it and now we're all in danger?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. If it's that important, you probably shouldn't trust it to airport security.
Nah, man. I can't keep it on me. It
You're just
corrupts
like
my soul.
you're just like I've got the most important gift of all of man.
I mean,
I hope it gets there to it on its flight.
that ruby necklace somehow didn't make it through. What were they thinking?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense
Yeah,
to me. I don't know why you'd ever put a fucking necklace that
yeah,
like that's
it,
insane.
it, yeah. I would never do that. That
And
necklace would be on me, like it
yeah,
would be in my pocket while I'm on the plane or something. Like
I was gonna
if I had
say,
to
and
do
now
it
that I
that
think
way.
about it, like anytime I've ever traveled somewhere with expensive things, like I don't think that it just stayed in the bag. And not that I can think of. Not that it was like I don't think I've ever traveled with anything that's worth more than $1,000. Like maybe you could say your phone, but my phone doesn't sit in my fucking bag.
What about your life?
My life. My life for your life.
Yeah, like everyone knows that like at least I thought everyone knows. Like it's been like since the beginning of travel that like when like whatever travel agency you're using or whatever, as soon as they handle your bags, you just know that like there could be someone who just like quick takes a peek
Oh,
in
for
there if
sure.
they see something like obvious, they might like snatch it. Like I like my parents told me this like I don't even know how young I was. Like I just feel like I've always known it, and like every trip I've ever
Oh,
went on,
dude.
they always remind me like, hey, don't forget, don't put anything valuable in your bag, because like
Yep.
they might take that shit. So I was just like, yeah, I just figured everyone knew that. Put a $32,000 necklace in your bag and
Yeah,
then trust these guys that they won't lose it at the very least, much less take it. Like,
yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of, of something. Like Danielle's job actually like pays you like they pay every covered member under like their insurance to have like health related checks once a year. So basically they'll give you like a $200 check or $200 like gift card or something, whatever you want. The value of $200 for each person that does it per year. So I did mine this year and I requested a gift card, but I wanted a physical gift card like because I was going to go spend it at Costco since we're like fucking Costco heads now. So I had requested it through the mail, right? It ships, and I open the like I reach in my mailbox to get the envelope, and you can definitely see it's been opened. Like it's 100% been opened. And then when I took the paper out, like the little thing, if when you get sent a card, it has like a sticky part on the back that sticks
Yeah,
in.
they
Yeah,
scratched that shit,
yeah.
didn't they?
It basically was
They
it was basically
scratched
falling off the paper. Like someone had
Oh
definitely
my
restuck it on there, right? So like I don't even trust the fucking mail people with
That's
valuable things.
crazy.
But what's crazy is that thankfully, like whoever set up this gift card service attached it to like your something personal about you that like your I think it was your Ford phone number or something like that. So like whoever did it couldn't get in, they couldn't use it. It had to be activated and they didn't have my information. So I activated it and got to use it and it was fine. But definitely someone went in there. So like if that's will it could happen with the
Wow.
mail, like dude, how could you ever like a necklace, a ruby? Like that's crazy. I don't even remember if it was actually ruby. It was something. It was an expensive gemstone of some sort, and I know it's sold for 32,000. But like either way,
Yeah, that's
if it's that much
crazy.
money, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet they'll be like, yeah, we'll pay you $1,000 for whatever you got in that bag. It's like, well, it was
Yeah.
more than that. There's like, well, you can have
Well,
some flying miles or something.
sucks to be you.
Yeah,
You gotta be
you
smarter
can
than that.
you can get some rewards points.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you really do. I mean, is it shitty that the airline did that? Yes, but you also take that chance every time you engage with any business that they could fuck it up royally. So like,
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
understand being mad about it, but you also can't be like hella surprised if you pack your bag full of fucking valuables.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel kind of like they're being a little humble because if you're traveling with the Ark of the Covenant and you're still on commercial, like that's crazy. They didn't even go private.
Oh, yeah, that just sounds dumb.
Ark of the Covenant. I'm like, that's irresponsible. That's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
like,
thank you.
however you got that, it's just irresponsible. Like to yourself, to
Yeah,
your family, to
yeah,
whoever like
yeah,
made it, so you have that in that moment.
yeah. Yep.
So you are
It
betraying them.
it's like when you watch movies like superhero movies and shit, and like the villain has to be resurrected by some old relic, and they find the relic in like a cave in Egypt, and you're just like, dude, all you guys did was bury it under some rocks. Like the whole ocean is right there. There's no way anyone was finding that. But like, I feel like for some reason, for with like for important stuff like that, people are just like expecting that the rest of the world are gonna treat it the way they do. But like, I don't know that your shit's in your bag. Like, why would I care about your shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
that's. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's exactly that is so true. But I
Is
mean, like,
there? Sorry.
Is
no,
there?
go ahead.
Is there some kind of bylaws in the International War book that says you can't target museums or stuff like that?
I don't think so.
I mean, probably a
I'm
museum
just.
is a non-military target. Like that's, yeah, you can't do that.
So are
What if
civilians,
your
but we blow
museum?
them up all the time.
Yeah, what if the museum houses like the first prototype model of our nuke, and we could be like, oh, that's important to the schematic legacy of our world killer.
Wait, wait. So
Yeah,
are you saying that your
That's
expectation
military.
w- w- were you saying that your expectation is that like our enemies in war would try to preserve our history?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't say or expect. I was just asking if that's something
Oh,
that
okay.
a rule
Uh,
because the point that you made, yeah, it seems kind of silly that you would have a room that just has like your relic on a pedestal. It's not even protected or anything. Someone can just walk in and take it. Why why aren't they doing more to protect these things?
It's just walk right in. And why did they leave it behind? Like there was like the Ark of the Covenant there, and everyone was just like, we'll just leave it. But actually, that does actually happen in like a lot of real
Well,
life.
I mean, well, I don't want to overstate the the importance of this necklace, but I mean, it was clearly expensive. I don't know if it was important. So if it was someone who was pretty rich and they lost it, I mean, they might be kind of pissed that they lost it, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Like
Sure.
I can certainly like okay, another good example. I like I had a we have a car seat for Mila. My mom came to visit and we left the car seat in her rental car. She drove 2.5 hours away from our house towards the airport and didn't realize it until she got there. And she called me. I was
Dang.
like, "Hey, like the car seat's here, and they say they'll keep it for you." I was like, "Fuck that car seat! I'm just gonna buy a fucking new one. I don't give a fuck how much it is." And honest,
Yeah,
and the
2 hours.
yeah, and a car seat isn't unexpensive. Like the one we have is like $200. And I still was like, no, I'm not driving 2.5 hours on Sunday there and then back because I just didn't want to do it.
Oh,
So like, I can
yeah, that's brutal.
imagine someone who's far richer than I might just say, fuck those rubies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
That
true. Why were they flying
my
commercial?
my brother actually had a job at one point as a person who would like deliver your forgotten or like misplaced goods. So I'm surprised they didn't
Oh.
give you that option.
Oh, dude, I actually used to do that too for the airport. Funny enough, for a little while. Well, back when I like
Really?
did, yeah. So back when I did like not ride sharing, but like all the food delivery shit. Uh, I also found that either Danielle or one of us found out that you could do that basically for the airport. So like you show up there and like they just give you the luggage and where it's supposed to go. And they will only give you like one or two at a time. And you just drive it to these people's houses, take a picture of it in front of their door, and then just knock and then they come and get it if they're there, and if they're not, it just sits there. But like basically your responsibility for it stops the moment it gets in front of their door and you've taken a picture. And that's it.
If that's a bad neighborhood, that luggage is
Yeah.
gone.
So what's crazy is I think these people pay for that. I think they pay for that privilege, so I think it's
Uh,
almost always in a good neighborhood. Because not once did I deliver to any shady neighborhoods. All these places were remotely located, and they were all on beautiful homes, like every single one of them.
wow.
Like they had a
Okay.
gate person.
It wasn't a gated community, but like it looked like their house was one of the first 20 developed in the last 20 miles.
Dang,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's a lot of land.
Yeah, they got a lot of land.
Yeah, that's who's leaving their cars. They're just like, oh yeah, I forgot I left the
Yeah.
car. It's like, whatever. I
Nah.
only like it was probably a rental, and like
Oh,
they
dude.
probably just told the rental agency that they just lost it or whatever. I don't even know like what even happens like that you can just be like whatever consequence of me leaving my car at this airport, I'll just pay it and like it's worth it. Like I don't even care. Like that's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in some, I would guess like if you actually are just strapped for cash, which I'm sure many people are. I mean, the stats say like most people couldn't pay like a $500 emergency or something like that. So like if you're strapped for cash and you have like fees on fees to get your car out, then yeah, I mean, it might not be possible for you to get it in time, and
But yeah.
maybe you just forfeit it for maybe just by law you're just forfeiting it because you can't come up with the money in time.
I forgot
That's
about the
so
parking
funny.
fees from leaving
Yeah,
my car
man.
for so long.
Yeah, it's not free to park there.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you want your $2,000 like Honda Civic out? Like, all right,
Yeah,
it's gonna be $8,000. Like, oh
yeah,
God, yeah, you could just have it
yeah. I'm pretty sure I spent like a tenth of the value that's left on our busted car to park it for like 3 days at the airport in December.
then.
It was probably about 10% if I had to guess.
That's funny.
Like $500 ticket, man. That isn't worth $500 to me. You can
Yeah,
have it.
yeah,
Yeah, you could just
yeah.
have it.
You're like, shit, it's not worth 500.
Yeah.
Five? Nah.
Can you even do that? Can you
Yeah.
drive a car that's worth like less than a parking ticket?
No, probably because like just in scrap metal, it's got to be worth more than that. There's no way.
What kind of chaos do you think there would be if there was a such thing as true disposable cars? Like it's
Oh
only
no.
supposed to, did
Didn't we
we?
talk about the idea? Maybe we weren't on a podcast, but I could have swore we played around with the idea of like the future. If like, what if they can get like these self-driving cars, and then what if they mass produce them so much where like it became a human right that like you just get a self-driving car, like that's how readily available it was. So like at that point, if you just crash it, like it doesn't even matter. Like you just instantly order a new one. It just like gets delivered there. And like, yeah, I think we decided back then that it couldn't work or something because like it's just too dangerous to like
Yeah.
have something with such power and you can just like crash it and just order a new one.
It's like giving everyone a small nuke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it was that prevalent, I think, and I don't know if we talked about it last time, but maybe it was after the podcast. But like, if I think a company would just take that over, I don't think we would bother with owning cars anymore. It would just be like a service, and they'd just be connected to everyone's phones or chips or whatever the fuck we're doing by then. And like, yeah, it would absolutely be readily available whenever you wanted it. But like, if it broke down, and you could even get the same one if you wanted all the time. But like, if it broke down, I don't even think you'd order it. I think it'd just be fixed by the morning, or a new one would be in its place. Like that's how readily
Okay.
available it would be.
That would make sense. Well, I guess like, and then you can't crash it because like it's self-driving unless like
Yeah,
you take it over or something.
right. I don't think you'd be even allowed to do it in that scenario. Every
Right.
all
You'd have to like
transit
hack
would be
it, which would
public.
be illegal, I'm sure.
Yeah, all transit would just be public at that point. Like, you just step into the car and it would just be going to your location, and that's it.
But like, what if you live like out in the country, like in like you just
Yeah.
want a car at your house?
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
if
You
they
better
think it's like a human right, then I guess like the
hope you
company would just make sure that they, I don't know, like park a car at your house, like
hoped you saved up your diesel fuel.
your diesel
That's the only
Yeah.
that's the only car you're gonna be driving out there.
Well, what do they do about? I forget. They haven't made internet like a basic like
No.
human right yet. I mean, electricity is technically not a human right, but in
I was gonna
Wisconsin,
say if things like water aren't considered a basic right all over like the world, I don't think cars are gonna get there.
well, yeah, not all over the world, but I mean, like even in one country, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I don't think even water is a basic right here.
I think it is.
You have to
I
pay.
mean,
You
like,
have to pay
is it a
for
basic
it.
right?
You have to
Yeah,
pay
you do
for it.
have to pay for it.
It's not a right if you have to pay for it.
Yeah. It's an expectation, but
Yeah,
it
it's an
hasn't
expect.
crossed over to a right yet.
Yeah, yeah. If it was an expectation, we wouldn't let homeless people. We wouldn't have homeless people outside at all. They just having water supply like that. I don't think we deem that a human. Even more so,
Yeah,
I
what
don't
do you
think so.
call those things? What do you call something that like, yeah, it's like you have a high expectation for it, but like it's not technically like your right to have it, but like everyone expects that you are. Like they literally make it so you can't turn off the
A, s-
electricity
a societal
in
norm.
Wisconsin in the winter. But yeah, it's not a human right. Like
It's just a
I'm still gonna have to pay for all that electricity at the end of the
yeah,
winter.
yeah. It's just a societal norm. We're just used to paying for it.
Yeah, interesting.
Which I
Yeah,
mean
you'd
makes
think there'd
sense.
be
I
like
don't.
a different word for that.
It, it makes sense. I mean,
Dignity?
dignity.
Dignity, yeah. The dignity, the dignity Bill of Rights, the
the
Bill of Dignity.
the only way
Isn't
that
that
would
what
work
isn't
is
that what they meant by pursuit of happiness? Like you have the ability to make your life something you enjoy. I would imagine that a lot of people include dignity in that.
I think yeah, the pursuit. I think the pursuit part is just an explanation of just you having the opportunity, but not necessarily that you'll ever get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have the right to go for it. That's what you have.
And you can try.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
What?
and good luck, man. Good luck.
Uh, I was gonna ask, man, where in the world do you not have the right to try? And then I remember North Korea, and I
Right,
figured we
yeah.
probably shouldn't talk about that again.
Yeah, you can't try too hard in North Korea. But that's not their laws there. They don't talk about the right to try there. You have the right to live, and maybe it's sometimes not that either. Depends.
Yeah, yeah, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
it depends. Yeah.
They're all just as good there as it is here.
Oh my god.
You know that I don't think that, right?
I know. We did
Yeah, I have
spend
to
an
That,
I have
entire
to make
episode
sure.
arguing about that.
that's a very interesting point that you make, though, John. Do you think they should change it to the right to try?
I think that's
Do
what
you
it is
think no?
already.
I know, but it isn't explicitly laid out like that. I think more people have the expectation that they won't even have to try that
Yeah,
hard. Just
sure.
like by being a citizen in itself means that like your life should be of a certain quality, even though that's
Um,
not necessarily true.
I don't think they should change it. I think we might need to do a better job explaining what pursuit means, but yeah, I don't think they should. I don't think people. I don't ever think we should go back and like retroactively change things in the past because we don't because we don't understand them as well now. We should just get better at understanding them. But like, yeah, I get that what you're saying. Like people expect it because it just I think that's a just a problem of a first world country. Like I don't think that has anything to do
Hmm.
with the pursuit part of it necessarily. I just think things have been so good here in comparison to like how they were, for the last 200, 300 years that like the problems that we have get are always going to get better and better because we have less and less. We're closing the gap between like absolute destruction and like wealth.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Like,
I feel like I might disagree with that. I feel like you should change things that are old and update them to like something more modern. Because I mean, like also in that same document where they say the pursuit of happiness, I'm pretty sure they don't like embolden slavery, but they do not. I think there's something about black people where they don't give them
yeah,
rights,
the
and then they
three-fifths
change that, which
compromise.
is good. Yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. So they changed that, which is good. So like, yeah, I think there should almost be maybe a reconsideration of what the minimum standard of being a human actually is. Like,
Yeah, and I
essentially.
can agree
Because
with that.
back in the early or mid 1700s, the minimum was that they shouldn't they shouldn't be taxed without representation.
Hmm.
You should be able to elect, I guess, your leaders, which is basically like the same thing. And yeah, and then the pursuit of happiness. You should at least get the attempt to be happy. Not
Yeah,
to succeed, but the attempt, which is like
I'm good with
that's
those.
pretty minimal. Like that's like bare bones. I think maybe we can like add something on there. Like water maybe or
The
air?
the
I don't even
Question
know.
mark?
yeah. So I agree with you like that. Okay, so maybe I misspoke. I guess I was trying to explain like when Gouda said the go like the changing thing. Like in order to understand what was meant when the person wrote it, I don't think we should rewrite it is what I was trying to say. But yeah, I think definitely you should try to better the society's life. I just don't know how far that should go. So like the only problem I see with things like water, anything that's like a that has its own industry already. The way we get those things now is through the jobs and labor of someone else. So the only way I could see like having it be a right for everyone is if people weren't necessarily if it was automated. Like I can't see it being an easy feat if people are still doing the work to supply water to make it like readily available for everybody because you have to eventually start paying those people more, and then if everyone's has a right to it, that means even people who can't pay for it have to have a right to it. So like through some type of tax, it would have to be paid for. And I just don't see a way around that unless like you are just saying the government's going to do it, Which I mean, I'd be fine with. I wouldn't mind paying more taxes, I guess, if everyone got water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I think
I'm looking at the Bill of Rights right now and all the stuff that's on here. And yeah, there's nothing on here that like inherently necessarily costs money. Like or as far as like government amenities. Like you've got the
Mm,
right to not have soldiers in your house. That apparently
yeah.
was a problem back then. uh, you have the right to a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of the free state, which is
that
pretty
that
interesting.
certainly costs money.
Yeah, that does. A well-regulated militia, but it's a militia. Like these are just like you and your neighbors, but
yeah,
it's
but
regulated.
you can't stay in each other's houses though, because at
Right.
least during wartime, because then you're soldiers.
Yeah.
Right. And then the right to keep and bear arms, of course, to have those guns. And then what else is in here? Then you have the speedy trial. You've got
Which
no
which
excessive
we don't do.
fines or cruel or unusual punishment. Um, yeah, that's about it. So yeah, none of these really have anything where it's just like you have the right to this amenity. Like all these things basically don't cost anything to the government at least. Like a militia, that's I guess it costs however much you want to put it together. Like I can make a militia
Okay.
right now and can
But
just be like
a
me. Like I'm
but
just a
wasn't one of
dude.
those a trial? Trials cost money.
For the I
S-
guess for the government, but not for the citizen. Like that's not like an amenity you get a trial.
No, but I thought you were saying that nothing on there costs money. I feel like court almost always costs money, unless you're going there for something mundane.
Yeah, no, I guess yeah, that is. Wait, where does it say? Hey, you just
A
have the right
trial,
to a speedy trial. So that
right?
just costs the government money, which is that's yeah, that's probably like the
How,
most.
wait, how does a trial not cost the citizen money?
Well, I guess like through taxes it does, but
No,
like
like through a
everyone
lawyer,
pays for
like
that.
to defend yourself if it's your
You
trial.
get a lawyer for free.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
A
so
public
all right,
defender.
yeah, yeah, that's so tech. Yeah, I guess you're not entitled to a good lawyer necessarily. I don't know that public defenders, by and large, because it's from what I hear, even public defenders don't think public defenders are great. But maybe I'm wrong about them.
No, you are 1000% right about that.
Okay,
But when you're just reading things on paper,
but
like
yeah, I
what more do you
suppose.
need? Like you get a free
Yeah,
lawyer. Like
yeah. I guess I assumed too much there because trial doesn't
So
mean
actually
that
that
you're going to be
that is
well
one.
represented.
That's like kind of a government amenity that normally something you would definitely have to pay for, but the government is providing. That's actually one of them. Yeah, you get a lawyer for free. It's not good,
Yeah.
but you technically get one.
But even that, like, you don't really get that for free because if public defenders are paid with tax money, they're paid by you anyway.
Right, but yeah, they're paid for everyone at least. But
Yeah. So
right.
like nothing is really then free because everything the government pays for you, they're doing it with the money you gave them.
Right. But at least like even people who don't ever need a lawyer, they're also paying into it.
Right. Even people
So
who,
it's
who
not just
couldn't
you
pay.
paying that.
Yeah. So like if even if you didn't have a job and didn't pay taxes, but if you got charged with something, you would still get a public defender. So yeah, in that way,
Yeah.
it's possible for to not cost you money. So that's a fair point.
So you're just receiving, and that's a right for
Yeah.
you to receive
Right. Yep.
in the state. So yeah, you can be homeless and you can
Right.
still receive that amenity, and which means you didn't pay for
which
any
is
of that,
which
but
is
you still
nuts.
get it as a citizen of America.
Which is nuts
America.
because as a homeless person, what Jesus, like who is out here charging homeless people? And like if it's anything below like rape and murder, like if it's theft, I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear about our government charging homeless people with theft. Like that just seems so stupid. Like of
What if
course.
it's like they stole the ruby necklace?
Okay, well then that's a dumb homeless person. Then you should go to trial. That's
How the hell
crazy.
do they have a
That's
buyer?
crazy. Yeah,
How
that's
are you
crazy. Wait, this homeless
like an
person.
international gem reader?
Yeah,
You're homeless. What the
homeless.
fuck?
That's
Like a
insane.
genius. And he's
Yeah,
like, and I know that you can't try me as long as I don't have a home in the United States of
that's
America.
crazy. Oh,
Wait, so do you think being homeless is an what was what was the word that you used?
unconstitutional.
No, a cruel and unusual. Is that a
Oh,
cruel and
cruel.
unusual punishment for not trying hard enough?
Wait, wait,
Well,
wait,
I
wait,
feel like that's just like
wait,
I don't
what?
know. That's like, and
Wait,
it's a
what?
punishment inflicted by who?
Yeah, what? Wait.
Because like so wait, so there's the you have the right to pursue happiness, and then you also have the right to not have to go through cruel and unusual punishment,
Hmm.
right? That's in there.
Yeah,
And
you
so
right.
homelessness
Oh,
is
yeah.
not a cruel and unusual punishment.
I think in first world nations it is. In some ways it is. Yes. Cuz I think there are enough people who could pay enough in taxes to at least get those at least the United States homeless people in some type of midway home to get them
Yeah,
like in a place where they could rehab long enough to get on their own. So yeah, I think we should at least have enough of those rooms for every homeless person. I think that's possible.
Yeah, so as that homeless person, you need to get your public defender to tell
No.
the judge that
Nope.
your rights are being violated because you
Nope.
cannot pursue your happiness.
No.
This is not legal advice.
Yeah. Now, I will say there are some homeless people who need a little bit more help than the public can like really give. Like, and I personally know someone in that situation, and who will not accept any type of help. Like, they think they're above all of that while they're homeless. So, in those situations, all we can do
you
is
want to be
just
homeless.
yeah, well, yes, some would argue that, but yeah, like so like I always want to make the distinction. Like I wouldn't say that the government's doing their job only if they get all the homeless people off the street. I would only say they're doing their job if they make sure that every homeless person has the opportunity very readily available to like go and get help if they want it. Now, if you're just out here fucking bumming it because you are bumming it, then that's on you.
So that means they need to get like a, I don't know, some type of roaming vehicle that goes around at a certain time every day that says, if you don't want to be homeless anymore today,
A
come with
roam
us.
a roaming vehicle, or maybe just like flyers is fine. To announce it that loudly is crazy. Like that sounds
I
like
feel
you're
like you have
rounding up.
to,
That sounds like you're rounding up the homeless people to exterminate them.
but you
I would
don't.
not trust that at all.
There's nothing that says that you have the right to education, so maybe they can't read.
Oh yeah, that's also true. It's possible.
That is true, but yet there's usually like I guess yeah, and it's not everywhere. There's not public education, but that's almost one of the first thing any like city or village or town like makes is like a school.
Yeah.
It's like a library and a school and a
Yeah,
city
unless you
hall.
grow up on a homestead and if you have a social security number, you are getting the government is in one way or another ensuring that you are getting some type of education when you're younger. Because like if you don't show up anywhere, I'm pretty sure they come looking for you and your kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like it's mandated. Like you have to either enroll your child in some type of homeschooling by a certain age or send them to a public school. Otherwise, someone's coming to knock on your door and they might get the kid taken.
Yeah, that's like, oh, this kid's been dead for the last like 4 years. Like that explains it.
Yeah.
All right, well, now you're under arrest.
Well,
And
yep.
then like,
Now
yep.
you're under arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Holy
you can't just murder your kid and just pretend like they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. They register
Like,
the
And
fuck.
that's
They
why you can't.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. That's the
Just
only
leave.
I've
reason.
seen a I've seen a couple yeah documentaries where like that's kind of like what started like the investigation is like they were supposed to like yeah be in some sort of schooling and like right they never were enrolled or like
Hmm.
anything and then there's like all right let's look into this and they did
Yep.
and sure enough they were dead.
Yeah. Even in homeschooling, you have to like provide some type of regular like progress reports each year. I'm pretty sure. But like obviously, if you had killed your kid, it would be easy to just forge some fucking documents. But
Yeah, you could just get ChatGPT to write it.
yeah, like ChatGPT, take this test as if you're 5 years old.
Yeah, I'm positive it could do it.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I don't think. Uh, yeah, I think some things should be rights, but other things, it's just like at a certain point, you can't completely supplement someone's like livelihood. Like we, to a certain extent, I feel like we definitely need some type of natural selection in our reality. Because like if someone is consistently trying to off themselves, like, and if you can't help them in any way, like I don't know what else you can do. Like, isn't it just as bad that like you would lock them up and just like cage them, like this isn't that what they do with people who try to commit suicide? Like, don't they put you on suicide watch so you can't do it again?
Yeah. And you just have to
Whatever.
I don't
suffer
know
to actually
actually.
go through it. But
Yeah.
maybe like you're supposed to like become better and not want to kill yourself at the end. And
I
you're like,
mean,
you know what?
So
yeah,
The
that's
suffering is
that's the
still
hope.
worth it.
Yeah, that's the hope.
so if you attempt and then you fail, and you're not in jail or anything. You're
I,
just like a
I'm
private citizen. Then they take you to like
If they find you, yeah. If they find you, you're gonna be in some type of like through you have to go through some type of psychoanalyzation, like some type of psych eval before they release you again.
okay. I mean that's good, but yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I didn't realize that.
But
Oh,
see,
I'm
but
glad.
but see, like that's the part of like rights that gets fuzzy because like if my right to pursue happiness could also include me saying, okay, my life has dropped below a standard that I don't want to ever continue ever again. I'm done. Like, isn't that part of my pursuit of my life? But like, also, don't kill yourself. So like the more the government gets involved, the more those things get muddied in my mind. Because like, agreeing that everyone should have one thing also takes some rights away from other people to do certain things. Like you can't kind of have one without the other in my mind.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Now, I would hope that if someone actually is thinking of killing himself, yes, that they would get some help. But like, if I don't know, man, I just hear stories about people who, like, if you've suffered with a like cancer for a really long time, like, I'm not mad at those people for wanting to be done.
Mm.
Like, I
I
I could
mean,
see it.
they've
Yeah, I
tried.
think
Right?
I think if you want to kill yourself, you should just be allowed to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that too. But like
Like it's your life.
even some cancer people like find out they have a diagnosis, if they find out like that the treatment would make them feel a certain way, like they don't even want to go through it. They're just like, "No, I don't want that."
Yeah.
And like isn't it
And like
crazy that someone just like tries to
why
make you do
waste
it?
time and energy on forcing that person to be alive when like
Yeah.
you could just be like, okay, well,
And
here you go.
resources. Like imagine having a family, you spend all the resources trying to get this person who doesn't want to live, like who's like this is just painful, this is just prolonging the inevitable to like
Hmm.
live longer and they're just like I don't know. I wouldn't fight with anyone who didn't want to be alive. I personally,
Yeah, that
I want it
that doesn't
all.
cost the government anything. The right to kill yourself. Let's add that one to the Constitution.
Yeah, the right to kill yourself. But like, how
The
do you
right to
distinguish between
go F
someone who's
yourself.
like mentally ill and like really does need help versus someone who really is just done?
Um,
Yeah, I have no idea.
that's what they hire professionals for. That those psychologists you were talking about.
Yeah. I don't think that they do a very good job, but okay.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I wouldn't put that in
I
their
mean,
hands.
sorry to all of you out there. I know it's a hard
Yeah.
job and you're terribly understaffed and resourced and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just think it's too heavy of a thing for one type of professional to take on alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, human rights. We should all have them, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we can add a couple more to them. Considering, yeah, I've been looking through the rest of the amendments, and nothing good has really been added the whole time. So like, I think most of the rights that like we as Americans see that
Wait,
we do have,
isn't the
they might be
women's right to
state
vote
rights.
one of those or no? Am I bugging out? I don't that
Um,
might I don't know if
I haven't seen anything pop up on there.
Yeah, that's got to be an amendment.
I'm pretty sure it was an amendment because it wasn't in the original.
Definitely not.
I was
In the
so
original,
yeah,
the only person that actually existed was the white man. Everyone else was just kind of like
yeah,
sort of a ghost, just like around. And
yeah.
they only like appeared once one of them actually needed them.
And
It was like,
what's crazy is that even they were like like I was talking to someone else about this once. Like when people think about like the history of the United States, they're like, man, white men had it real good, and like they certainly had it better than everyone else. But like the lowest tier white dude was not living good at all. Like that dude who was just plowing the field all day, and then like someone could just come over and just like kill him and just take his land. Like that guy, that guy was not chilling.
but at least he was a person, or at least
Yeah,
recognized as such.
yes, that's great. But I mean, like when I think about that guy versus like being a minority even in the last 30 years. I would still take being a minority any time in the last 30, even 40 years from what I've heard the decade before was like to being a white guy in 1910. Like I don't want to be anywhere near 1910, even as the most privileged person.
True.
Even as the most privileged, like what if you're like the richest dude, like Andrew
No, that no,
Carnegie or
fuck that
whatever?
guy. Those people, not fuck that guy, but like fuck those guys. Like only because they like what was the life expectancy of someone in the 1910s?
Like 40.
Like fuck no. I would
No,
much
I'm just kidding.
no,
It wasn't that
no
bad.
chance.
But
No way.
I
No
think
no, it
way.
so.
was like
If
If
you
it's
were
it was like
born in
70 or
1910,
something.
like you are
wait,
going to fight in both
we
world wars, aren't you?
yeah, so probably 40 is not too far off. Hold on. Life expect Okay, we have to know now. Let's see. In 1910. Hmm.
Zero chance
Dude.
you make it through all that.
Oh
So
my.
it's 49, so basically
48.
50
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. 50. Yeah. 50.
Jesus, I wasn't too far off with the 40 thing. That was a
Yeah.
joke. Like I was just kidding with
No. Oh,
Holy crap.
Yeah,
man,
man.
salute to them.
Yeah.
It's
So
like, yeah,
if
we don't get why we don't live so long. Like when you get born, the first thing you do is light up a cigar and put it to the baby's mouth. I don't see what's wrong with that.
yeah,
Oh
all that
God.
coughing will make you strong, boy.
Yeah, it gets the demons out of their lungs.
Yeah, yeah, but that's how people were like up until like the 60s. Weren't people in the 50s and 60s like deep in coal mines with zero protection?
Yeah, yep.
But
Yeah,
like,
they're like, yep, this is fine.
and it seems so obvious to us now, obviously, because like someone went through the hassle of dying and then doing the research. But like I'm sure in 70 years they will look at some shit that we've done. I'm sure the amount of radiation off the shit that we have right now, people are gonna be like, what the fuck? No wonder you only made it to like 80. What were you all thinking? But like that's just how it is. Like you just get better with age. But yeah, that's why I would never want to go back that far because my 40 just sounds like a midpoint to me. Like 40 as the end?
Jeez.
That means I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
15. Wait, this says what? I'd have 17 and a half, 20 more years max?
Yeah, max.
Dude,
Like
that's
you should be a
nuts.
grandpa by
And
now,
at that
basically.
point, I'd be an outlier. Like, this is an average. So that means some people are going earlier than this.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he just died of old age, the old age of 45.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
the ripe old age of 36. He lived a good life. Like,
Yeah, didn't you
what?
see him walking around with a cane? He could barely even stand up anymore. It's like,
Oh
how?
God! And then you get into war, and you got fucking like trench foot and gout. Like, golly, what a terrible time to be alive.
Yeah, and you had cannons going off like 1 foot from your face all day, every day for years, and like, and then like,
Ugh.
yeah, you just like have sex with the random like person you've met
Yeah,
in
and then you
some
just
saloon, and
contract syphilis through everyone. Like, just
yeah,
God.
yeah, you're like, yep, it's a part of living life.
Yeah, that good old syphilis.
And you just sit under a tree and just like slowly fade away, and like at the ripe old age of 49.
Not to go off on a like a sidetrack, but to go on with what you're saying, John, that people might think some of the things that we're doing now are crazy. What do you guys think about that whole gas stove thing that people are like panicking about
Oh
recently?
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
pretty
Wait,
crazy.
wait. Before we get into that, I know nothing about that.
Do
So
you
can
have a
someone?
gas stove?
Um, no.
Oh, okay, you're good. I was gonna be like, you're fucked, man. You're done. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Okay.
apparently, like the gas from the gas stove is like just as bad as like a lung full of cigarette smoke. So like,
Oh,
meanwhile,
okay.
it's so bad where like if you were to have a gas stove outside, like it would be against like federal EPA laws, like essentially. But you can have it inside your house, and just the EPA doesn't have jurisdiction there, so that's why
Right.
like
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
technically legal. So like people are like, wait a second. So if this is so bad that it's illegal to have outside, but they let you have it in your house and it's just normal, like why is that? So that's the thing. Like, yeah, I think it's pretty bad. Like if I had a gas stove, I'd be not happy right now. That's for sure. Like, Yeah, I would get rid of it and get an electric stove. Luckily, I've got an electric one already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. All right.
Wait, don't you have a gas stove, Buddha?
Hell yeah, I smell it every morning.
Oh.
Like, that's cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and you
Ooh.
have like the fan that doesn't like go outside too. It just sort of blows it
Makes
around.
the lungs strong.
Yep. You're gonna live to the ripe
And
old age of 46.
yeah,
I gotta find
you
a
don't
tree to
have
sit
central
under.
air.
Yeah, you need a tree. Yeah, you
Uh,
have your tree picked out yet?
man, yeah, I gotta start looking. I gotta find a cane
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, make sure it's sturdy.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I don't
But
know.
no,
Just
yeah,
get
I
a.
totally believe it.
Are you gonna do anything about it? Like, what do you even
No,
do?
I'm not gonna do anything.
You're just gonna keep taking it?
I
Yeah.
mean, he's lived like how long have you
Yeah,
been at that? Like you've been at that place for a while, right?
yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, we have a gas stove at my parents' house too that I used like my whole life. At this point,
Oh,
there's
oh yeah.
like,
Okay, so you're
fuck,
okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
what's done is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. At this
Do
point,
you?
it actually might be more dangerous for you to cut it off full turkey. I think you might actually need it.
Yeah, just a little bit,
He's
just a
just
Yeah.
little bit of
repentant
that.
already.
Yeah,
What is
man.
it? Ethanol? And
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same alcohol. Not alcohol. What the fuck? Fume.
Fumes.
What are they burning? Butane?
Yeah, butane.
Yeah.
Butane and
Mmm.
propane.
Does the lung good, baby.
Yeah, my
Oh.
parents, they did a radon test on their house, which is the house I grew up in, and like apparently it was 3 times above like the limit or whatever, like that's like safe. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
holy,
Fuck.
3 times above the limit,
That's
and that's what
crazy.
I've lived in my whole life, and that's what they've been for like even like
They just
20
did it
years
like
longer than I
recently?
have. Yeah, because they're
Oh.
finally selling their house. So like
Oh,
when
okay.
you usually do that, you get a
Yeah.
test, and like yeah, it was 3 times the limit. So I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap! Like,
Yeah, we
but
had that
luckily they
test
have
done here.
central air, so like that keeps the air circulating. And they had to turn their air off when they did the test, so the air just had to like sit in the basement for like 2 days,
Oh,
and
yep.
then that's what accumulated 3 times the legal limit. So like
Dang.
maybe it was okay, but like man, that's just crazy. Like when we bought our house, it was right at the limit, which is like a 4 or something like that. It was like barely at the limit, and we were like, "No, you have to put in a system. You have to get vents in the roof. You got to do everything." And they did it, and like, holy crap, 3 times the legal limit, and that's what they've just been breathing in like
Yeah.
for the past 30 years, and like that's what I also grew up breathing in. I guess, fine. I don't know. I can't really run as long as
Or
most
are
of my
you?
peers. Yeah, I feel like my lungs never really worked like amazingly.
That's
I
because
feel
But
like I have okay lungs, maybe even good lungs, so I don't know how
yeah,
that works.
I
yeah,
feel like your lungs are fine.
I don't mean to make this a race thing, but I feel like I've
Oh.
very rarely met I've very rarely met someone of your descent who cannot say that, who doesn't also think that same thing about themselves,
Yeah,
What?
do you know any
Oh.
other
about
Kenyans
their
who have
lung.
bad lungs?
Yeah, like I don't know any Kenyans with with. I guess I don't know that many
How,
Kenyans,
how
but
many
like,
Kenyans, yeah, do
yeah,
you know?
yeah, but yeah, I don't know any. I would say of African descent who has said basically the exact same thing that you just said. Like I've never met.
That's that's funny. I feel like if you were to ask a random person on the street, like, would you rather have the health of an American or a pure-blooded Kenyan? I
Mhm.
feel like people would think being Kenyan is worse.
Really,
I think so.
dude, I would think it's way better.
It sounded better the way you added the
Yeah,
pure-blooded thing
yeah,
in there.
pure,
That
Well,
seems
so
I mean,
premium.
pure.
I had to say that because, well, it's true, and also, I mean, everyone has like
Wait, so it is.
percents of
So
lineage.
it is true then. Like
Yeah,
you
both
would.
I
my
mean, like
parents are
in
100%
certain ways.
Kenyan. Yeah.
I would say that like no, I meant like, do you think it's true that like on average Kenyan health is better than American health?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had like multiple aunts and uncles that have died young, and even
Oh,
like
okay.
older generations
S-
too died
So
before. Yeah.
these are people who like live in Kenya?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess I'm wrong. I just feel like most people assume that being in America is as healthy as you can get in modern times.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. I feel like it has the most
Aside from the cost of
opportunity.
healthcare, I guess.
Yeah, it has the most opportunity for health, but like, uh, we're terrible. Like, isn't it? Aren't we
No,
up to
we
like
are, but
44% obese or something crazy? I think the number is crazy high, but yeah, yeah, I would not put our health in front of anyone if I didn't know what their health was. I would just assume that it's better than ours.
I just
Yeah,
feel
don't
like
most people think Americans are fat?
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
do.
I'm saying if you went and asked one of our fellow Americans, I don't think they would like pick another country. I think they would say like, yeah, like we're the best and we look the best here. When in
Ugh.
reality,
No, yeah,
I
no.
think like if someone's actually thinking, they might say like, yeah, the Mediterranean, because
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they live to be like 90 or something like that.
yeah,
yeah.
but no one's really thinking that way.
Hmm.
I don't think, anyways.
Yeah. Maybe because the only other Kenyan people I've ever come into contact with were all runners. So I always felt way behind. Always.
Okay, well, I mean, they don't really have cars over there, so we're just kind of running everywhere. I'm kidding. Don't take like
Jesus.
that as a joke.
Jesus
Don't.
Christ.
We're not living in huts and shit.
You're gonna get
Uh,
murdered by by your fellow Kenyan.
that's
They're
crazy.
gonna come with pitchforks. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, that's what like most Americans think though. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what meager village are you from?
Yeah.
That's true. That it is what a lot of people thought for a long time.
I still have
And
that
and
visual in my head, I
you grew
think.
up in Kenya, so you guys don't have clothes and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah, that's yeah.
no.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not like very many generations removed from that, but I mean, it's 2023. It's damn near like America over there now. Like just about, depending on how close you get to the city center.
Oh, okay. So the closer you go inward towards the heart of the city, the more American-ish or Western it gets, or is what
Yeah,
Westerners think it is, I guess.
Yeah, that's
100%.
Okay.
that's what human progress looks like. The city. They all
Except
end up looking kind of the same.
That's
except
unfortunate.
Yeah,
they're sorry.
I was just gonna say, have you ever wondered why, like, throughout like all of history, people all across the world seem to have like dressed like somewhat similarly, especially like in the last like 2 to 300 years, seeing like old videos of like Russia back in like the 19 like 40s and 50s, and just seeing everyone in like jeans and a t-shirt and stuff. It's just weird, they look like Americans, but like it's just like where did they like who invented this style? So yeah, it just seems like somehow all the people everywhere seem to just agree like, yep, this is what we're all doing. And like that seems to be like city life. Like
Yeah, I'm sure it's just the nature of having like textile and mass production and stuff like that. It's I don't think when you're living in the city, you don't have the time or often like the extra means to get custom like clothing.
Hmm.
You just go to the store that tells you this is the best and you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I just have a very clear picture of America fat in my head. So the only place I ever go, and maybe that's also probably a product of where I live too, because like I live in the meat and taters area of the
Fat
state.
Town, USA.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically. So
The meat and taters.
yeah, man. So like anytime I think compare anyone's health of I think of like the average health in my town and like and then like in this case to someone who's Kenyan, I immediately like, oh God, like no, I don't want anyone from here to represent like America's health because it would be too sad. But yeah, that's just what I'm used to seeing. Like the only time I ever see fit people is when I go to the gym. Every other time, or like if I see those same people from the gym somewhere else. But like the majority of people, I just feel like, don't think of health in those ways at all.
I guess I thought maybe I might be wrong, but it was my impression that Americans believe that everyone in Kenya and more so largely Africa are like starving or
Uh,
somewhere close to that.
yeah. That's probably true.
Yeah, but that's
Uh,
not true.
yeah, I think I only know that because, well, honestly, because because of you. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know that
yeah,
I
pretty
would,
much.
because my perception of Africa before that, like I know there's cities in Africa. I know there's places in Africa that aren't just like desolate. Like I know that for a fact, but like I've never been to Africa, so it's hard. Like if the only messaging you get is like the version of Africa that's, I don't know, fucking,
You
Have your
trying to go?
parents
Come
seen
through, bro.
yeah, trying to.
Have your parents seen Black Panther?
No, they don't watch movies.
Oh,
Oh,
do you think that
I
they
was
would
gonna
like
say
it?
like I wonder what they would have thought about it.
I think my mom would have liked it. My dad wouldn't care. He's never liked movies or
Mm.
like the only time I've ever seen him watch a movie was when he sat down and watched one with my brother and I when we were kids.
And he was definitely just doing that for you then.
Yeah.
You think your mom would like it? Yeah, I just remember when Trevor Noah talked about it. He was like, "Yeah, all of us from Africa, we were watching that, and we are like, oh, okay, like what tribe are they from?"
What
Like,
what tribe is? Yeah, is tribes a thing? Like, is everyone part of a tribe, or is that just some crazy movie shit that someone made up?
No, that's for real.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's as serious as it's like on your state license or ID.
Holy
Like if
shit,
you're
really?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
that
Yeah,
is
no, it's all real,
crazy.
guys.
God damn, that
And
is
no,
nuts.
I would agree if you're like from that world and you watch that movie, there was a lot of things in there that was like more accurate than you would think they let on. And it's like, oh shit, okay. They actually paid attention.
Yeah, someone went over there.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, good for them.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been well received. I mean, nobody said like this is not an accurate representation, and no one from Africa has been like grossly offended or anything. They've all liked it, and so like, yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
must have done a
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah. It
I
was
Wow.
feel like
all
it's hard to
very
achieve that these days.
yeah, for sure.
Well, that's great. Beautiful.
Just great.
I'll probably still never see it, but
Nah, man, come through.
You haven't even seen the first one?
no, I have. I've seen the first one. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
actual. If you're talking about actual Africa, yeah, I just want to place one place that I would want to go. I just don't know where I'd go. Like,
Oh, yeah, actual Africa?
yeah,
Oh, no, there's no
I
way I'm
know
going
I
there.
know nothing about actual Africa.
I would get murdered.
You would get murdered?
I would get taken advantage
What?
Yes, I could say that. Yeah.
Oh,
of.
so wait.
Depending on where you go, yeah.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait, so then you would tell me where to go where that wouldn't happen, right? Or
Yeah.
is it not possible?
No, it's
Yeah, you can
possible for
step right
sure.
outside the
Okay.
airport and
Just
look
make sure
around and go right back
and
on the
turn
plane and fly
around. Oh
home.
my God. Okay.
No, like even like if you go there any day of the year, you will be like one of hundreds of Americans
Okay.
there.
But it'll be clear that I'm not from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, if it's possible, then yeah, of course, I would try that.
Okay.
Sounds like it might be
Yep.
some tight borders though.
My brother lived
I'm
in
taking it to the war
Guyana
zone.
Oh
for
God.
like 3 years, which is
French
like somewhat
Guyana?
similar, or at least what Americans think of. Yeah, French Guyana. I think it's Guyana. Isn't there two of them? There's a Guyana and a French Guyana. No, it's not the French Guyana. He went to the English Guyana, which is
Yeah.
different. That's the
Like,
one where Jones like the suicide and then they killed the congressman. And this is all that the
yeah.
cult
The
thing.
massacre.
Yeah, but it's like all black people and like everyone speaks English, but in such thick accents you think they're speaking a different language. But so like it's like I feel like it's what Americans think Africa is like essentially. And he lived there for like 3 years. I don't know like how he did it, but he did it. But like Yeah, that's man. I could never. I don't think.
So you'll never
No,
go. So you'll never go to Africa.
I mean, I would go honestly. Like, if I was like, if I had a lot of money and I was just retired and the only thing I did was just like travel and stuff. I would maybe. Where would I go in Africa? I would go to. Um, Yeah, actually, no. There's nowhere I would go in Africa. Like maybe Morocco, maybe, and like maybe Egypt, but like that's it. Like, and that's like, yeah, that's pushing it, but probably not. Honestly, like, let's
so
be real.
you're not gonna accept my invitation?
Oh, to go to Kenya?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess like if I'm with you, then like, yeah, you're my guide. But
No,
like, you're the
we're
only one
both
I
a
trust.
target. We're going down together.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's true. Like the
Yeah.
second you open your
And
like you look like you're from there, but the
yeah,
second you
we're
open your mouth, it's like, what the fuck?
yeah, we're gonna show up in Kenya. We're gonna get taken straight to the war zone. We're never gonna come back, and the airport's gonna sell all our stuff.
Hell
You
yeah.
in Kenya is probably like me in Mexico.
Yeah, no, yeah, yes.
Like people would come up to me and start speaking Spanish, and the second I open my mouth, is over. There's like, oh, gringo.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. But still, it's not that dangerous. You would survive
I
if
would
you were
get
just
swindled.
curious.
Someone would be like, "Oh, you want this bottle of water? That's gonna be $50." And I'm like, "Oh, but, but," and then I'll just do it because I have no other choice.
No, it's totally fine. My cousin took her white fiance and got married over there. So
Holy
it's
Oh,
like
crap!
it's plenty safe.
Holy shit! Well, I mean, like, how does he feel about this?
What do you mean? They got married.
So he's like, "Kumba tribe."
Yeah, more or less, obvious. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
one of us. That's
Yeah.
okay. Interesting.
do you
That's
know?
pretty cool.
Do you know where Uzi is from?
Yeah,
Uganda.
Uganda.
Uganda. Yeah, I heard he was telling me like a few years ago because I don't know if he met his wife there or not, but like I remember looking at his like I don't know if they were pre-wedding photos. I don't remember what it was, but something for the wedding, and everything was like seemingly like super extravagant. Like everything that I saw people wearing was like decked the fuck out, and I was just like, holy shit! Like I've never seen him dress in anything close to fancy ever. But the one time he had a special occasion, he went head to toe fucking decked.
Like
Yeah.
with what? Like a suit or like?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's what it's called, but like
So it was like a African
it
garb of
it.
some sort.
That's what I thought it was, or at least the people in the pictures. Like I'd have to go back and look at his Instagram
I
to
mean,
tell you for
unless it's
sure.
something you've seen normally
Yeah,
in
but it
America.
wasn't
Like
something.
if
No,
it's not
no,
a
it
suit,
wasn't. No.
jeans, or a t-shirt, then like yeah, it was
Yeah,
probably
because I think he said
something
he had a
from.
separate wedding for that for just the people in Uganda, and then he had one here.
Uh-huh, okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, those cultures are so different.
Yeah. Yep.
Certainly something ceremonial in nature was what he was
E-
wearing.
yeah. Probably.
Right? Yeah.
Indeed. Well, I think
Yeah, I think
we're going to end it there.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Bill of
Thanks
Rights,
for
people.
yeah. Think about your rights or which ones you want the government to give you.
We
Yeah,
all
don't.
get African ceremonial garb.
Yeah, ceremonial garb.
Don't let anything cruel and unusual happen to you out there. Your
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah. Good luck.